Hello and welcome back to the American Chapter podcast. We are so thrilled to have you here for episode 12. Jacob, I feel like I've had 3 cups of coffee today, but I haven't had any. I'm just that pumped for this topic.
I can feel the energy. Welcome back, everyone. Settle in, find your favorite spot. Maya, you look like you're ready to run a marathon. Is it the topic, or did you finally find that magic productivity secret?
No magic, just a total mindset shift. I'm feeling brave today. How about you, Jacob? Any fail moments this morning?
Chuckles. Actually, yes. I tried to make a fancy omelet and it turned into scrambled eggs. A total culinary failure, but hey, it still tasted good.
Exactly. And that's why we're here. Today is for our B1, B2, and C1 friends who are tired of being afraid. We're going to use some powerful vocabulary today, words that describe the struggle and the triumph. If you hear something new, don't panic. We have a full review at the end of the video.
This isn't just a lesson on don't be afraid. This is a masterclass in resilience, taught in English. Whether you're at the gym, on your commute, or doing the dishes, you're in the right place. Today, we're changing how you see your mistakes.
But before we dive in, hit that subscribe button and join the family. If you've ever felt nervous speaking English, this episode is your sign to keep going. Give us a like and share this with a fellow perfectionist who needs to hear this.
Roadmap for today. Part 1 is the deep talk, definitions, personal stories, and advice from the greats. Part 2 is the vocabulary vault. And Part 3 is our shadowing practice to make your voice sound as confident as your new mindset. Let's dive in.
Jacob, let's start with definitions. People use the words failure and mistake like they are bad things, but in a growth mindset, they are actually data points, right?
Exactly. Failure is simply a state where you didn't meet a specific goal yet. A mistake is just an action that didn't go as planned. But success isn't the opposite of failure. It's the result of it. If you never make mistakes, you aren't growing. You're just staying in your comfort zone.
I love that. It reminds me of the book Mindset by Carol Dweck. She explains that a fixed mindset thinks talent is permanent, while a growth mindset believes you can develop any skill through effort, like English. If you fail a test, it doesn't mean you're bad at English, it just means you found a gap in your knowledge.
Tell that to my younger self. Maya, I've never told the listeners this, but I once tried to start a small business, a customized taco stand. I spent all my savings, worked 15 hours a day, and I fell flat on my face. I went broke in 3 months.
No way! The Taco King failed?
Hard. I felt like a loser. But looking back, that failure was my MBA. I learned more about marketing and finance in those 3 months than I did in 4 years of college. It was a stepping stone, not a wall.
That's so inspiring. My failure was less about money and more about fear. My first time speaking in public in front of 200 people, I walked onto the stage, looked at the crowd, and my voice shook like a leaf. I actually forgot my own name for a second.
Hello, I am a human person.
Seriously, I wanted the floor to swallow me up, but I realized the world didn't end. People were kind. I learned that being perfect isn't the goal. Being authentic is. Now I love public speaking because I gave myself permission to be imperfect.
That's the secret. Look at Thomas Edison. He failed 1,000 times before he invented the light bulb. When a reporter asked how it felt to fail 1,000 times, he said, "I didn't fail. I just found 1,000 ways that won't work."
And think about J.K. Rowling. Her first Harry Potter book was rejected by 12 different publishers. 12! Most people would have quit after 3, but she was resilient. She knew that a no today isn't a no forever.
So to our listeners, what is your Harry Potter? What are you afraid to start because you might look silly? Whether it's starting a YouTube channel, applying for a job in English, or just ordering coffee in a foreign country, do it poorly. Just start.
Preach! The advice is simple. Track your progress, not your perfection. Reframe your mistakes as lessons learned. If you start today, even with mistakes, in a year you'll be a different person. But if you wait until you're ready, you'll be in the same spot next year.
That is the absolute truth, especially for everyone listening right now who is trying to master English. I mean, how many times have we seen someone study grammar for 5 years, but they're too scared to even order a pizza in English?
Exactly. They're waiting for perfect grammar, but the pizza is getting cold. Listen, guys, we know the feeling. The language barrier isn't just about words, it's a wall of fear. You're afraid of looking silly, or worse, using a false friend and saying something totally wrong.
Oh, the false friends. Those are the words that look like your language but mean something totally different. I have a story for you. When I was learning a bit of Spanish, I wanted to say I was embarrassed about a mistake I made, but I used the word embarazada, which actually means pregnant.
No way. So you told a room full of people you were expecting a baby?
Yes. I said, I'm so pregnant right now. The whole room went silent and then everyone exploded laughing. I wanted the floor to swallow me up. But you know what? I never, ever forgot the correct word after that. That failure burned the right word into my brain forever.
See, that's the gift of failure. I had a similar moment. I used to be so afraid of the th sound. I would avoid words like thought or through because I thought I sounded like a whistling tea kettle. I would literally change my whole sentence just to avoid one word.
We call that the perfectionist's prison. You're so busy trying not to make a mistake that you stop being yourself. You become a robot. I am doing fine, thank you.
Totally. So what do we do? How do we break out? First, embrace the accent. Your accent is just proof that you know more than one language. It's a badge of honor, not a mistake.
Second, stop translating in your head. That's where the voice shaking starts, because your brain is working too hard. Start thinking in small English phrases. Instead of, what should I eat? Think, I want chicken. Keep it simple.
And third, and this is our favorite, shadowing. Just like we do at the end of these episodes. Listen to a native speaker and mimic their emotion, not just their words. If they sound excited, you be excited. If they're joking, you joke.
Don't be afraid to be the person who makes the pregnant mistake. The people who make the most mistakes are the ones who reach fluency the fastest. The silent perfectionists are still on page 1 of the textbook, but the brave mistake makers are out there living their lives in English.
Shadowing is honestly like practicing your golf swing in your backyard. It's great for form, but eventually you have to go to the actual course. And for English, that course is speaking clubs.
Yes, I am a huge fan of speaking clubs, whether they are online on Discord or Zoom or offline at a local cafe or library. It is the absolute best way to force yourself out of your comfort zone. I remember the first time I went to a networking group. I stood in the corner for 20 minutes, just holding my coffee like it was a shield. I was so afraid someone would ask me a question I couldn't answer.
We've all been there. But the beauty of a speaking club is that everyone is in the same boat. You aren't there to be judged by a professor. You're there to find your tribe. It's a safe haven for mistakes.
And here is a pro tip for when you join one. Be the first to break the ice. Don't wait for the most fluent person to start. If you start by saying, "Hey guys, I'm a bit nervous today," you'll see everyone else relax. Your vulnerability actually makes you the leader of the room.
Exactly. And don't just stick to the easy topics like the weather. Use the club to test out those C1 words we teach you here. If you use a new idiom and it sounds a bit clunky or weird, who cares? The club is your practice lab.
So, check out apps like Meetup or search for language exchange groups in your city. If you can't find one, whisper, "Start one." Being the organizer is the ultimate way to overcome that fear of failure.
I love that. It's about moving from learning English to living in English. So let's wrap up our toolkit with some phrases that will help you break the ice in your next meeting. Let's look at the golden words we used today to describe this journey. 1. Growth mindset. Meaning the belief that abilities can be developed through dedication and hard work. Example, having a growth mindset helps you stay calm when you make a grammar mistake.
2. To fall flat on your face. Idiom. Meaning to fail completely or embarrassingly. Example, My first business fell flat on its face, but I learned so much from the experience.
3. Resilient/resilience, meaning the capacity to recover quickly from difficulties. Toughness. Example, English learners are incredibly resilient. They keep trying even when it's hard.
4. Stepping stone, meaning an action or event that helps you make progress toward a goal. Example, see every mistake as a stepping stone toward your fluency.
5. Voice shook. Expression, when your voice trembles because you are nervous or scared. Example, her voice shook during the interview, but her answers were brilliant.
6. To swallow someone up. Idiom, meaning to feel so embarrassed that you want to disappear. Example, when I realized my fly was open, I wanted the floor to swallow me up.
7. False friend, meaning a word in a foreign language that looks similar to a word in your own language but has a different meaning. Example, the word actual is a false friend for many speakers. It doesn't always mean what they think it means.
2. The language barrier, meaning the difficulty of communicating with people who speak a different language. Example, once I stopped worrying about grammar, I finally broke through the language barrier.
9. To burn something into your brain, meaning to remember something so clearly that you will never forget it. Example, making that funny mistake burned the correct phrase into my brain.
10. Badge of honor, meaning something that shows you have a quality, like bravery, to be proud of. Example, your accent is a badge of honor. It shows you are brave enough to learn a new language.
11. Safe haven, meaning a place where you feel protected and safe to take risks. Example, our podcast community is a safe haven for people to practice without judgment.
12. To break the ice, meaning to say or do something to make people feel more relaxed in a social setting. Example, I usually tell a small joke to break the ice when I meet new English speakers.
Okay, it's time to put those fears aside and train your voice. I'll say the sentence, and I want you to repeat it exactly like I do, with the same energy and the same confidence. We're going to say each one twice. Let's go. Failure is not the opposite of success. It is part of success. Failure is not the opposite of success. It is part of success. I give myself permission to make mistakes while I learn. I give myself permission to make mistakes while I learn. Every no brings me one step closer to a yes. Every no brings me one step closer to a yes. I have a growth mindset, and I am getting better every day. I have a growth mindset, and I am getting better every day. I am resilient, and I will not let a setback stop me. I am resilient, and I will not let a setback stop me. My mistakes are stepping stones toward my ultimate goals. My mistakes are stepping stones toward my ultimate goals. It is better to do it imperfectly than to not do it at all. It is better to do it imperfectly than to not do it at all. I am the author of my own story, and I choose to be brave. I am the author of my own story, and I choose to be brave. I choose progress over perfection every single day. I choose progress over perfection every single day. My accent is a badge of honor, not a mistake. My accent is a badge of honor, not a mistake. I am brave enough to make mistakes and learn from them. I am brave enough to make mistakes and learn from them. I will stop overthinking and start speaking. I will stop overthinking and start speaking. I am brave enough to step out of my comfort zone today. I am brave enough to step out of my comfort zone today. I know that we are all in the same boat, so there is no need to fear. I know that we are all in the same boat, so there is no need to fear. I will be the one to break the ice in my next conversation. I will be the one to break the ice in my next conversation. Speaking clubs are my safe haven for making messy mistakes. Speaking clubs are my safe haven for making messy mistakes.
Amazing work. If you felt a little bit silly or if your tongue got tied, good. That means you're learning. Remember, the goal isn't to be perfect. The goal is to be bold.
Exactly. Now that you've practiced the sentences, you're ready to take them into the real world. Go out there and make some beautiful mistakes this week.
What an episode! My heart is full. Let's summarize the advice for today. Define it differently. Failure is just data. Start small. Don't wait for perfection. Be resilient, like J.K. Rowling or Edison. Keep going. Reframe. Every mistake is a lesson.
And remember, guys, the only real failure is quitting. If you're still trying, you're still winning. Warmly, thank you for spending your time with us for episode 12.
Question of the day: what is one thing you've been afraid to try because you're scared to fail? Write it in the comments and let's encourage each other.
Subscribe, like, and share the love. Stay brave, stay consistent.
I'm Maya, he's Jacob, and this is American Chapter. See you in the next one. Bye.
Bye.